Greetings, programs. This is Wretch. Welcome back to Vampire the Masquerade, Reckoning of New York. And in the last episode, guys, Kali and Paddy were trying to find more info on Reynard's whereabouts, and we discovered the existence of a courier that Kali had no knowledge about whatsoever, which normally the sire-child relationship, the sire will obviously have secrets, but when it comes to Ravnos, that's even doubly so. So Kali definitely has her interest piqued. Let's see what happens. I thought I knew every fixer with whom Reynard had tie-ins, given my role as the logistics gal of our coterie. Maybe I'm just tired, but I have no clue who that night courier might be, and it sends my trickster senses into overdrive. Let's go. Usually I'd fill the car with some kind of idle talk, whether I'm with friends or just by myself, but this time, I just let the silence hang. Neither Paddy nor Skylar seemed keen on chatting, not even with the classic Queen tracks playing, so the caitiff's perfectly serviceable car is almost uncomfortably quiet as we cruise through the night streets of New York City. I've gotten this strange sensation in my stomach, like I've eaten a chunk of ice. If Kindred could get indigestion, I'd blame it on my last mortal meal, but since that's not a thing, I guess this feeling must be anxiety. It's really not my usual vibe. Something about this whole situation makes the hairs on my neck stand right up. It feels like there's something terrifying waiting for me at our destination, just a few blocks away. But weirdly enough, my gut's telling me not to run from it. And my gut is usually spot on. As we pull up to the meeting spot, the night courier stands out immediately, mostly because she's the only one around. Clad in dark leathers and sporting a helmet, she almost disappears into the night alongside her bike. We barely come to a halt before Skylar jumps out of the car and approaches the courier in a few strides. She seems eager to talk and even more eager to bolt, so I keep my eye on her, ready to give chase. She looks like she might make a run for it. It's not even a question. I shoot a quick glance his way and catch him looking at Skylar just as intently as I am. Wouldn't surprise me. I most certainly would in her place. The real question is whether she's willing to sacrifice access to my stash for that chance, and she seems pretty keen to get her hands on it. I see. Well, let's hope her interest hasn't waned then. The moment Skylar pivots and heads our way, we cut the chatter and step out of the car. 5 minutes. That's all I could get for you. Spend it well. Her hand reaches out to me in a gesture that feels overly formal. Low 5. I slap her hand with a loud low 5. Theatrical eye roll laced with annoyance is all I get for that. The key, to your stash. I held up my end of the bargain. Yeah, I got it right here. I toss her the key, which she easily snags out of the air. Pleasure. And with that, she's off into the night. As she disappears, we casually approach the night courier. One look at Paddy reveals a simmering impatience. I know he wants to take the lead, and honestly, while I'm not exactly thrilled to step aside, it seems like a pragmatic choice. Let's face it, negotiations with Skylar went less than stellar, even by my standards. But Paddy hardly gets a word out before the courier cuts him off with a sharp, sour response. Shut the hell up, pretty boy. Wait, I know the sound of that walking angst vortex. Kali, the fuck did you get yourself into this time? She takes off her helmet and I'm floored, staring at a face I never thought I'd see again, outside of some vampire afterlife fantasy. Jess? Holy shit, is that actually you? Is this why you dragged my ass over here? To star in this shitty high school reunion? As prickly as ever. I'm dying to give her a hug, but her thundercloud of a face screams back the fuck off. I settle for an awkward pat on the shoulder. Can't introduce me? Jess's eyes nearly pop out of her head. Oh, piss off! Is this really why I'm out here? What? No, hell no. It's, let's just go one step at a time. Christ. Podrick, meet Jessica Wainwright. I know you like it formal. She was part of our crew before she up and vanished like a ghost a year back or so. Speaking of which, we thought you were gone. For good, I mean. She seems thrown by that, but she swallows whatever rush of words is clawing at her throat. Oh, really? Well, that clears up the mystery of the silent phones. Oh, so we're playing it like that? I fucking mourned you, you dick. Not that I can text beyond the grave. FYI, I left you guys a fucking note. This whole situation is surreal. The hell are you on about? Raynard said... Ah, of course. Raynard fucking Castle, turning shit into gospel. Her deceptively soft features harden. Why the hell are you poking around for him anyway? Cause I'm royally screwed? Why? Cause it's a fucking Tuesday, that's why. And by that I mean he's off the grid and now I'm neck deep in shit cause the Camarilla wants him found. Right. And who's this charmer? I'm essentially the raft keeping her afloat in the cesspool she's plunged into. Not gonna lie, I jump a little. I sort of forgot he was even there. I still toss him a wounded look and pout a little while Jess lets out a hearty laugh. So I'm surfing this wave of horseshit with you. Oh, you filthy, filthy lifeline. The sheriff had him shadow me. I swear he's useful sometimes. Maybe it's the pretty yet infinitely punchable face that does it. Right. And you just went along with all this creeping around because why exactly? New year, new me. You see, with 2025 right around the corner, I'm exploring my personality a bit. Plus, there's the whole get decapitated by the sheriff's blade thing hanging over my neck, so yeah, I chose the lesser of the two shit shows. She's clearly not amused. Stepping outside of the gang has really changed her vibe. Hell, we used to get along swimmingly back when we were cramped in that RV together. Maybe a bit of real talk is what I need to melt that ice. I drop my voice as if I'm letting her in on a deep, dark secret. Truth be told, there's got to be something bigger at play with this whole mess. You hear me? I just can't figure out what the hell they want with Raynard, and why now of all times. Jess shrugs and crosses her arms over her chest, looking like she couldn't care less. Water's wet, the sky's blue, and piss stinks. By which I mean, underneath all that charm, Castle's been a two-faced lying sack of shit from day one. No wonder the whole ivory tower is on his tail. Hold up. There's clearly bad blood between her and Raynard, and it's skewing her view a bit. Maybe. Charming? Sure. I'd buy snake oil off the bastard too, but he's always been straight with me. What's even worse, she has this horrid look in her eye that I can only interpret as pity. The hell's there to pity? I'm doing just fine, thank you very much. Heard through the grapevine you might know where Castle is hiding. And Jess laughs at that. Am I losing my edge here? Oh, honey, Castle's in even deeper shit than Kali is. See, I've been involved with the circulatory system on and off, passing messages and whatnot. She leans back even further onto her bike, all cool and collected like nothing gets to her. I almost follow, enraptured, but catch myself at the last moment and straighten up, signaling for her to continue. Word is, Castle shot right up to the top of their shit list just a couple of nights back, based on some fresh intel they got from who knows where. Suddenly she leans forward on her elbows, looking at me seriously. This is major league shit, Callie. Could be Uncle Sam level big. And it might not just be Castle in the crosshairs, but everyone tangled up with him. Keep the hell away. Yeah, except running away somehow vanished from my playbook. I'll literally lose my head over it. She shrugs and starts putting her helmet on. Now, it's your problem, not mine. I bailed on that clusterfuck of a sire for a reason, and Unlife's been beautiful ever since. Good fucking luck, though. Pause for dramatic effect. And don't bother calling me again. She's gone. Just an engine roar fading into the night. Right back at you, bitch! Without looking at Paddy, I let out an awkward laugh and kick at some loose stones. She's quite something. How you holding up? She's changed. She used to be a real sweet in a sour kind of way, you know? Guess the big city really does chew you up and spit you out. So, the circulatory system, huh? What's your take? Paddy, mercifully, bites his glib tongue and pretends not to see that I'm sort of in shambles. Well, it appears they're more eager to nab Brainerd Castle than we anticipated, and they managed to acquire some incriminating intel. To be honest, things don't look too good for him. Great, and we're still no closer to finding him than we were last night, or whenever. It's also a matter of whether the circulatory system intends to hunt you as well, by virtue of being Raynard's accomplice. Oh, please, I'm hardly even a sidekick. He levels a blank stare at me and I bark out a laugh. My spirits momentarily lifted. I rub my hands together briskly, suddenly feeling like mischief. Well, seeing as your Anarch lead didn't really pan out, guess we're hitting, Sansarik next. He hesitates, idly twirling his ring, more a tick than an actual need this time. It is indeed our backup lead, but only lead. Fine. At the moment, it's our only lead, but I have my reservations about Sansarik. Let's unpack this back at my haven. Besides, dawn's nearly upon us. He starts walking toward the car, then pauses when he sees I haven't moved. I tug at the fraying edge of my sleeve, smiling at him almost apologetically. Yeah, funny story, but I can't. Literally. He sizes me up relentlessly. Callie, this is the moment for your antics. We need to move, and quickly. The thing is, your haven isn't safe for me anymore. What do you... It's just a thing with my clan. If I crash in the same spot more than once a week, you might as well sweep me up at sundown, like, with a broom. He looks at me piercingly, searching for deceit, which, for once, isn't there. His fingers dance on his hand, spinning the ring furiously. Finally, they come to a stop. Yeah, I get it. I'm not messing around, Oh, you do? A hint of mirth sparkles in his gaze, though his expression remains stoic. Let's rendezvous at my place tomorrow night. I got a private eye in mind who might have an idea where to find Sansarik. A PI? Oh, you're not talking about D'Angelo, are you? He arches an eyebrow, a flicker of surprise on his face. Hey, already acquainted, I see. More like disappointed. The leper's a good guy, but a dead end. Grilled him about Raynard and got zilch. Even implied it was somehow my fault Raynard's vanished off the face of the earth. Well, Castle is practically a ghost. Sansarik, on the other hand, is not exactly hiding. D'Angelo should know a thing or two about him. Fair, but he's a slippery little eel. You might need leverage to get him talking. A shade of a smile crosses his face. Leave that to me. He'll talk. He turns around and climbs behind the perfectly serviceable wheel. Tomorrow, dusk, my haven. Don't let me down. I give him a playful salute, waving as he pulls away. Oh, look at that. Night's bleeding in the day already. I really need to get a move on. There's a damp little cellar that I've been eyeing for a crash pad. It's not exactly the Ritz, but I've done my homework. It's secure enough for a quick sleepover. Time's ticking, but with any luck, I'll snag some prey en route. It's not good to sleep on an empty stomach after all. Ooh, yeah, we need to be careful here. But we definitely do need some food. I'm wondering what the... Well, do we need food? Or is that the visibility of the hunters that's filled up? Ooh. I don't know. Wait, can we look at the glossary? Journal, logbook, characters, disciplines, The hunger. Doesn't have anything on feeding. Okay, well, why not? What could possibly go wrong? A dance floor drenched in darkness, the beat dropping like it's on fire. Warm bodies pressed tight, buzzed, high, and full of precious blood. This club is the prime spot to sink my teeth into. The moment I step into the club, I know it's an excellent place to hunt. Crowded with mortals, blackout drunk and high out of their minds, swaying, jumping, and writhing on the dance floor like there's no tomorrow. Only tonight, only now, only ecstasy. I'm gonna quench that awful clawing thirst in no time. Let's see, what do we have here? Scour the dance floor, look at the wallflowers, head to the bathroom. Let's look at the wallflowers. I assume if we go to the bathroom, we're going to find someone probably ingesting some drugs. You'd think that prowling for blood would be easier on the dance floor, but I know better. I was literally born at a rave. Twice. And spent both those lives dancing the nights away at clubs and bars. I know my way around like nobody else. Sure, some of the people leaning against the walls are there for a reason. To take a break, to have a drag, to find victims of their own. But some of them would like to be part of the crowd. It's just their inhibition stopping them from stepping in. And I'm here to help them break those barriers. There's a guy sitting with his back against the wall, head in hands, hugging his knees, frozen, paralyzed, clearly on a bad trip. Somebody should haul him out and help him get sober. That somebody isn't me. I can already sense the jazzed up blood, the accelerated heartbeat right beneath his skin, and tonight I'm not in the mood for Molly. How about the teen twitching rhythmically in the corner, clearly too young to even be in the club? Should I teach them the dangers of the night before it's too late? Nah, it's too much effort. What if they imprint on me like some duckling? Besides, I've already decided on my target. There's a girl standing by the restrooms in sensible jeans and a tie-dye t-shirt. She has a flustered smile on her face and a beer can in her hand. I bet she poured it out and filled it with water so that none of her friends, long lost to the dancing crowd, felt uncomfortable around her. Her, I can teach. I approach her straight on, a wide, inviting smile on my lips, and watch her shuffle her feet nervously. When I'm just inches away, she opens her mouth to say something, but instead, I cover her lips with my own. I don't hear the surprised sound she makes, but I can feel it. The vibration in her throat under my palm. Push her into the restroom, lead her outside, push her into the restroom. I skillfully take her by the hand and push her into the restroom, straight into an empty stall. There I crowd her, a blushing mess, against a wall and kiss her again, knocking down her defenses like dominoes. Feed. She doesn't protest when I move my lips onto her neck and nibble on it. But she sure minds when I bare my fangs and take a bite. Exploit a feeding opportunity. Okay, so I was not hungry at all, but we are being watched. I don't drain her completely, of course, even though the amount I drink is not nearly enough to completely satisfy me. Honestly, it never is. I let go after a few sips and lower her gently onto the toilet. She looks at me, dazed, and struggles to get up, but I put a firm hand on her shoulder, keeping her down. She'll need a minute or two before her head stops spinning. So I just pat her gently on the cheek, ruffle her hair, and disappear into the night like I was never there. For the moment, I'm almost sated. Okay, I don't know if there's a way to actually lower our visibility. If you're a Ravnos, home is just a dead memory. You've only got a bunch of hideouts, some better than others, each offering a day's worth of safety. And one of them's close by, just waiting for me to hunker down and collect my thoughts. If D'Angelo's Haven qualifies as a hovel, then this temporary shelter of mine is a full-on catastrophe. So utterly dismal it could force Tommy Wiseau to shed a genuine tear. You're tearing me apart, Kali. Mold is practically redecorating the ceiling. And let's not start on the bed. That's just suspiciously damp mattress that leaks some extra sus fluid onto the floor with each squeeze. Home sweet fucking home. But hey, at least it's pretty secure. There's zero chance of sunlight sneaking in here. Maybe because the resident microbes have evolved enough to shut out anything that threatens their germy utopia. I sprawl out on the lumpy mattress and sulk over my dead Walkman, cursing myself for not getting spare batteries. When Reynard pulled that thing out, I legit thought he was going to wiretap me. But turns out he was just giving me a piece of his past. A little gift from the better times, or whatever. Honestly, as if I needed another thing to play my tunes. Our gang is not as uptight about going online as the Tower, so we stream just like anyone else. But I kind of got hooked, especially with the mountain of old cassettes crammed into our glove box. Digging through my belt bag in search of entertainment yields only the wooden stake that almost pierced my heart the night before. Shit, almost feels like another lifetime. But the stake sends my thoughts drifting to Paddy. I'm pretty conflicted, to be honest. Can I trust him? He seems to be on my side, caring even, but there's something off about him, something unsettling. I can't put my finger on it. It doesn't help that he changes the length of my leash for no rhyme or reason. His mood swings faster than the San Francisco weather. It's so annoying that he's now indispensable to my survival. Except for tonight. It was anything but. Still, he introduced me to Mato. My gut's screaming that this is going to be a game changer for navigating the city, maybe even beyond. Skylar, not so much. And Jess, yeah, I'll hold off on poking at that sore spot for a little bit longer, at least until after I shake off the dark sleep that's clawing at me. It's eager, it's suffocating, steadily pulling me into the abyss. Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom, I would say I've been more than considerate. She responds with silence, and that unnervingly calm, icy stare that could easily drive one to the brink of madness. It's a weapon she's honed to perfection. I thought I'd be used to it by now, but it slices through me as viciously as the very first time. Ooh, is this, I wonder if this is Paddy, and I'll do a different voice for that. How long has it been now? 5, 6 months? Half a year trapped in this endless spin of justifications, half-truths, and unfulfilled promises, constantly veered off course. Despite her alleged interest in my unique condition, despite our shared thirst for answers, despite the growing urgency, the resolution to my dilemma always hovers just beyond my grasp. Yeah, this has to be Paddy. Still, she's the first kindred to make me believe she could truly grant me reprieve. I've been holding my end of the bargain. Not once have I raised objections. Not once have I strayed from our agreement. But I'm not one of your puppets, Vritra. I thought I made my stance unequivocally clear. Oh, okay, that was whoever was talking, okay. Ooh, is that a Zamisi? That you did. Yeah, I can see that. This cannot go on. You need to live on your promises, or I'm walking away. She cracks a smile, as stunning as it is rare, like a dragon flashing its fangs. It suits her. given her true nature. All in due time, dear. All in due time. Actually, if we're doing some easy. All in due time, dear. All in due time. I'll have to remember that. Complete the Anarchy chapter. Alright, let's end the night. Well, wait, is there anything else that we can do? No? End a single night with the lowest possible hunger. Cool. We are well sated. December 2024, 5 nights till the new year. It's painfully obvious Paddy never believed I'd actually turn up for the meeting. Oh, so the eye is closed and then it gets more open. I gotcha. I catch him off guard in front of his haven. He leans against the door, absent-mindedly and yet anxiously spinning his ring while scanning his surroundings. In the seconds when he looks away, I creep up quietly and casually, relishing the oncoming surprise. Some friendly ribbing is in order. Hey there, pretty boy. You come here often? His head whips around, and for a split second, surprise and relief flashes across his face before it contorts into confusion. Hey, what do you mean? It's my haven. I sleep here. I deflate a bit out of exasperation, but still manage a lighthearted laugh. You're no fun. Apparently, he decides to ignore me, slipping back into his usual indifference. He gets into the car, and I hop in right after. Let's pay D'Angelo a visit, shall we? Yeah. No time to dilly-dally, right? Correct. I'm pretty sure he's ignoring my sharp-ass remarks on purpose, but the way he slams on the gas pedal, it gives me a tiny glimmer of hope that he's not a lost cause. Either way, the perfectly serviceable vehicle does fine cruising through the night streets, and this time, it's not even that awkward. D'Angelo, you here? The shithole he calls an office looks just the way I left it 2 nights ago, except for some new pins on the corkboard where he charts his crazy, and a trapdoor flung wide open, probably leading down to wherever he hides out during the day. Maybe we should give it a minute. He won't keep us waiting too long. Yeah, I'm not doing that. It's us? Oh, okay. D'Angelo, it's Callie and Paddy. It's Pud. Kind of feels like we're a crime-fighting duo, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. And stop calling me Paddy. You know, like Kim Possible and Ron, or Randall and Hopkirk? The deceased bit makes it especially wicked sense, right? Don't bother, kid. He won't pick up what you're putting down. For all his perceptibility, he's surprisingly lacking imagination. D'Angelo squints at me as he emerges from beneath the floor. Tell me about it. As D'Angelo turns to Paddy, I catch a hint of a smirk tugging at the corner of his mouth. Gianni? Ah, Padrick. Looks like you're still losing your head. Just not literally, eh? Indeed, the sheriff is yet to relieve me of my cranial burden. But worry not. There's still time until the new year. You might yet win that little bet of ours. I probably shouldn't pry given the fact that my own neck is on the line here, but... I mean, there's a treasure trove of a relationship to dig into here. Anyway, we came here to... Whoa, hold up. A bet? You can't just mention this bet shit and breeze right past it like it's nothing. Yes, we can. Look, it's no biggie. If Padrick here gets his head chopped off by Kadir before the new year, which I kinda thought would have happened already, I'll inherit all of his stuff, including all those juicy secrets he definitely dug up during his time in New York. Otherwise,
He's got himself an eternal discount on what I offer.
I'm not as deft at stepping on people's toes as you assume.
Yeah, you are. You just have a knack for sweet-talking your way out of any mess, which is pretty impressive right now, considering our dear sheriff is far from his agreeable self these days.
And if his head does roll, don't you think the Anarchs will lose their minds seeing you dig through their lost comrades' belongings? A short moment of silent contemplation is my answer. I'd love to have a catch-up with you, Gianni, but we did have an agenda walking in here. A glimmer of light flickers into Angelo's shades as he turns toward me.
I hate to break it to you, but if you're here for intel on Castle, you're out of luck. No new leads since we last talked.
It concerns Castle, broadly speaking, although he's not exactly the crux of our conversation right now. Sweet lord. Eli Sansarik. Where do we find him, Gianni? D'Angelo narrows his eyes, squinting at me suspiciously, and fiddles with his e-cig.
The serpent? What's your angle? What are you after?
He's my ticket out of this mess. He's like the only one of Raynor's contacts that doesn't seem to fucking despise him. Since our other lead was a bust, he's my best shot at finding Raynard and shaking the Camarilla off of my back. D'Angelo tilts his head like some curious, funky, ugly little rat.
Damn. Heard through the grapevine you're marked for the chop, but... shit.
Yeah, and I'd love to dish out all the dirty details, but I'm seriously pressed for time. So where the hell is Sansarik?
Honestly, your guess is as good as mine.
D'Angelo takes a long drag of his e-cig as if he's really trying to savor the flavor. I wonder if he actually makes an effort to kickstart his taste buds, or if it's just part of his usual act.
Sansarik and his serpents are gone from Harlem and nobody really knows why. I've got theories, but they're just that, so...
But you're just itching to tell me, right? I flash him a dazzling smile, but he just scowls in return. He takes one more drag to regain his noir composure.
What was that old line? Water under the bridge?
I give him a curious glance. His answer was just a touch too quick and out there, as if he suddenly got nervous. But D'Angelo speaks up before I can probe any further.
Look, I'd be doing you dirty throwing half-baked hints your way. Just check Sansarik's usual hangouts. St. Philip's and the vicinity of Morningside Park are your best bets. They're not far from each other. You might just dig something up there.
Thank you, D'Angelo. Those are solid leads.
The faint whiff of sincerity in your bullshit makes it almost charming. I know they're not quite the Glengarry leads you're after, but hey, on these nights, beggars can't be choosers.
So is this intel gonna cost me the usual 2 blood bags?
You keep your stash, kiddo. Just clue me in on where Sansarik's hiding once you sniff him out, and we're square.
His ugly mug suddenly goes serious. He straightens up and steps closer, eyeing both Paddy and me intensely.
Last time I warned you that shit's gonna hit the fan soon, but that's old news already. It's way worse now. You can feel it, can't you?
I nod almost instinctively, catching Paddy doing the same.
I'm bailing earlier than planned, and I strongly advise you to consider doing the same. I won't sugarcoat it. I could use a lift, and you could use some level-headed advice on the road.
He looks genuinely terrified. Paddy and I slowly exchange looks before shaking our heads. I can't. Not just yet. Things, heated. I understand. But at the moment, Callie cannot leave, and I've been saddled with helping her in a way that I can only describe as non-negotiable. D'Angelo sighs, slumping visibly, and waves his hands dismissively.
Well, in that case, just keep your eyes peeled for trouble, alright?
Yeah. You too, pal. Well, until next time, D'Angelo. Hopefully under a brighter moon. We're almost at the door when I hear his response, barely louder than a breath.
Bright nights are all gone. Only nightmares remain. I should write that down.
When any Nosferatu is nervous like that, it's nothing good. Nothing good is bound to happen. But I think it is a good place to go ahead and call it an episode, guys. When we get back, I guess we are on on the hunt for a follower of Set. Good times. But if y'all like the episode, please leave a like down below. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. That'd be a big help. And we'll see you next time. Later days, everyone.